Alright, welcome back to Nurse Mark. If I can do it, you can do it. We're going to change out the oil and show you how to do it in a 2016 Ford Mustang ecoboost. Okay, to start off with, to get the drain plug off, you're either going to need a wrench, there you go, 15 millimeter to get the drain plug off. Use your hand or use one of these wrenches. And of course you'll need a drain pan, and you'll need one type of funnel to put oil back in. In the oil, you're going to need a oil filter and some Valvoline synthetic oil, 5W30. That's what 5W30 is, what the owner's manual calls for. And this is fully synthetic oil. Okay, first you have to lift the car so you can get underneath it and get to the drain pan. But as you see here, these ramps, it's going to hit the bumper. So these ramps won't work. So you either use that or you got to use a jack like this. If you don't use ramps like this, like I said, use the jack and jack it up and still use those wheel chocks there. So what I did was I built this ramp because it slowly raises the car up, then it gets to the ramp here. That way you can get underneath. When you do that, make sure anytime you jack up a car, put these chocks back here, or they make them. I just have wood on both sides of the car, just in case it rolls back, you got some protection. If you use the hand jacks, make sure you use jack stands and shake the car a little bit. That way it can't fall on you. Okay, what I do first is I just take this cap off, and then I'll take the oil plug off. Alright, take your 15 millimeter socket, put it on there, and we're going to loosen it. Alright, and then once we loosen it, I'm going to drain the oil. I don't want you to get hit on the camera. But we loosened it, and then we're going to take this off. Alright, I want to take this oil filter off. I'm just going to turn it with this wrench, loosen it, and then I'm going to hand turn it off here. Make sure we get the bucket under here because it's going to splash. Okay. And that's hot. Just keep turning it off, twisting it till it comes off. Be careful because it will fall out of your hand like that. And wait for all that to drain out. I usually just let it all drain. I just go do something else. Then I come back and I'll put a new oil filter on. And I'll show you how to do that when we come back. Now, to put the drain plug back on, it calls for 19 foot-pounds of torque. So you're going to use a torque wrench here and dial it into 19. You just turn it and then put this knob and tighten it up. If you don't have a torque wrench, just put it on there snug, but it's 19 foot-pounds. Okay, here's the drain plug. You can see it's just barely dripping now. So now we're going to put the drain plug in. Just screw it on. Remember, we said 19 foot-pounds. So I've got my torque wrench. You should hear it click. Now I'm going to put on the oil filter. Just screws on. That's tight enough. Okay, in the owner's manual for the 2.3 liter EcoBoost, the engine oil, you got to put 5.7 quarts or 5.4 liters in there. So I just got this from Walmart, and this one is 5W30, 5 quarts. So we'll go ahead and fill all this and then add another 0.7 quarts. Okay, so here's 5 quarts, and I'm not going to let you watch the whole thing. Okay, so we put a little bit of oil in it, and I think it's right in between the two marks, the X marks. And so we're done. That's how you change oil on a 2016 Ford Mustang EcoBoost.